13 scary animal encounters caught on camera. Whether you're scared of snakes, bears, alligators, sharks, or even birds, you might want to proceed with caution, because we're about to take a look at 13 scary animal encounters caught on camera. Number 13. Soldier has a near shark attack. I've never dreamed of diving into the sea. It's cold, dark, and has many unknown creatures lurking in its depths. However, this French Navy soldier didn't have these fears at the back of his mind when he dived into the ocean. And maybe he should have, seeing as he came a little too close to becoming a shark's lunch. According to French Navy tradition, a soldier has to jump into the sea from a ship to mark their last day on the assignment. And it was all fun and games for this man until things took a tragic turn, as a shark decided to join in the celebration. Luckily, the shark didn't seem to think the soldier would make a worthy meal, and the frightened man was able to swim away without losing any limbs. Number 12. Zookeeper almost loses an arm to a ferocious tiger. Have you ever come close to being a tiger's lunch? Well, this Indian zookeeper has, and it was without a doubt a very memorable moment for him. Of course, not in a positive light, so don't get any ideas. For a time, this zookeeper is looking into the tiger's cage, which appears to be empty. And then in an attempt to draw the feline closer, the man grabs a water hose and begins to spray into the cage. This obviously upsets the tiger because it does the most horrendous thing next. Out of nowhere, the dangerous predator leaps up and attacks the man, nearly clawing off his hand. Luckily for the zookeeper, he was able to retract his hand last minute before the tiger turned it into brunch. I'm sure after this haunting experience, he was reminded of how much cats hate water. Number 11. An overly friendly lion wants to share a seat with tourists. It's completely fine to place your pet cat in your car's back seat, but when the cat is a giant lion, you have to think twice about that. In an unexpected turn of events, this group of clueless tourists in COUGAR National Park have their seemingly ordinary safari trip disrupted by a white lion. Seconds into the encounter, what started out as a curious lion wanting to know more becomes a pretty intense encounter as the tourists are frightened out of their minds. It's a miracle the tour guide could convince everyone to stay calm because there's undoubtedly nothing calming about a lion inside a car. Fortunately, this vicious beast isn't threatened by any of the tourists and doesn't proceed to attack. Since the lion has taken up residence in their vehicle, the tourists immediately exit the vehicle. Thankfully, they all make it out of the bus unharmed. Thank goodness. Number 10. Big Bad Bear Encounter. These voyagers are going on a perfectly ordinary hiking trip. Little did they know that a huge adult male bear is stalking them. At first, the men are oblivious to the enormous beast sizing them up from a distance, so it takes a while before they turn their backs and notice the black bear, which is now too close for comfort. As one would expect, the men are extremely startled and are trying to chase the animal away, but the bear is unmoving.
Whoa, 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 bear, bear! Whoa! Hey! 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 Go! Go, bear! Go!
Probably amused by the pesky little humans who thought they could scare him away from his territory. You have to give it to these men for handling their bear trouble more professionally than I would have under the same circumstances. Eventually, the animal leaves the voyagers' presence and they're able to retreat to safety unharmed. Number 8. Man barely escapes death by a camouflaged alligator. There's a reason why people are afraid of the dark. It's because they don't know what unknown monsters might be lurking within the shadows. As a survival rule, it's always good to be completely aware of your surroundings and not assume a place is safe just because it's quiet. This man assumed a green pond is the perfect place to play with a giant slab of meat. Little did he know that a monster was hiding under the green scene. Why was the man playing with a giant slab of meat in the first place? Well, I have no idea. But what I do know, however, is that I need to speak to whoever is in charge of recording world records. This rather careless man deserves an award for the most speedy reflexes. If not his reflexes, things might have gotten a little messy to say the least. Number 7. Man and daughter catch an alligator on the line. Have you ever gone fishing in a lake? Just you and your boat with your line and a few tasty fish. If you have, then you know the peace and serenity that comes along with the experience. That is, until you catch a beast you never planned on encountering in the first place. Now your trip is ruined, and you are scared for your life. This was exactly what happened during a father-daughter fishing trip that took a downward turn. The father and his 11-year-old daughter initially set out on a seemingly ordinary fishing trip. When the fishing begins in earnest, the dad feels something strong at the end of the line, which he assumes to be a catfish. Regardless, he tells his daughter to stay back as he reels in the line. It was good advice he gave her because little did he know that on the other end of the line was a massive alligator. Immediately he catches sight of the alligator. The frightened father drops the line and begins to paddle away with shaky hands as if his life depends on it. And when you think about it, it actually did. Luckily, the reptile doesn't follow after the dad or the shrieking girl. Number 6. Mom saves child from a charging ram. Children are always interested in animals, be it puppies, kittens, or roosters, thereby making it their parents' duty to allow them to explore nature's delights safely and hang around harmless pets. That being said, what happens if a dangerous animal sets its sight on your child and proceeds to attack? What do? This child was happily chasing a chicken across the road when out of nowhere a fearsome ram came storming towards them. Neither the mother nor the toddler knew that they were in danger until the very last minute. Thankfully, the woman jumps into action at the last minute, effectively saving her child. The scariest thing about this video is that if the mother was a second too late, her baby would have met a disastrous fate. In the meantime, someone needs to pass a bill for all ferocious rams to be leashed. Number 5. Angry lion confronts zookeeper. You know when you visit the doctor to get a shot and they tell you it's not gonna hurt? Well, that's a lie. The same thing applies in this terrifying encounter between a zookeeper and the king of the jungle. At the lion's den, the zookeeper is telling the tourists that when handling lions, it's essential that they never show fear. After hearing this, the lion becomes determined to expose the zookeeper for the phony that he is.
Now, when you're playing with lions, it's important to never show fear.
Or at least that's what its actions suggest. Without waiting for the man to complete his sentence, the lion makes a move effectively frightening him, and then you guessed it, causing him to show fear. There you have it, guys. Rule number 5674. Why you should not approach wild animals no matter the circumstances. Number 4. Cougar chases a man. Not all cats are small, cuddly domestic pets. The mere sight of some can make you wet your pants. An example of such frightening cats is the cougar, and honestly, it's easy to see why this man was frightened out of his mind when he was chased by it. A man spots a particularly furious cougar while walking down a hiking trail, and he immediately retreats to save his life. Sadly, the cougar doesn't let him go so easily. As the clip progresses, the man tries different tactics to get the cougar off his tail. He tries being assertive and politely telling it to go, but the predator seems unfazed.
Go! 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 No! No! Go away! Go away! Please go away! Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh! Go away! Go away! I'm big and scary. Holy fuck! Oh shit! Oh shit!
The desperate man then decides to try screaming in the hopes of scaring the cougar away. But nope, that doesn't work either. He also resorts to pleading. But I think you already know that didn't work out because, not to be Captain Obvious, but wildcats don't understand English. This insane encounter goes on for more than 5 minutes. Finally, after what probably seems like hours to the man, the cougar turns on its heels and runs away. Number 3. Hippopotamus lunges at a speedboat. Have you ever played Hungry Hungry Hippos? Sounds like fun, right? It is! Until you actually encounter a huge hungry hippopotamus. These animals are very aggressive and unpredictable, making them one of the most dangerous mammals in the world. For quite a while, everything seems perfectly normal for the tourists on the speedboat. Then moments later, things take a downward turn when a hippopotamus lunges at them out of nowhere. Immediately they zoom off in an attempt to get away from this savage beast, but they just can't get it off their tails. Luckily for them, they are in a speedboat, because I imagine things would have turned out differently had they been in a canoe, kayak, or a small boat. Number 2. An anaconda alarm. Anacondas are one of the very few snakes in the world known to eat humans, so you wouldn't want to mess with this species. But just for emergencies, here's how to survive if you ever come face to face with a ferocious anaconda. All you have to do is, well, the exact opposite of what these people did. A group of people are having a regular boat trip. Suddenly, a gigantic anaconda emerges from the bushes, scaring the hell out of the boat's occupants. This would be the point where they leave the snake and run for their lives, right? Wrong! Instead of running, they began to chase after the enormous reptile. Talk about looking for trouble. If this anaconda hadn't recently eaten, which is quite evident from the sight of its huge belly, these annoying humans would have been its next meal. In the end, both the group and the snake are able to leave the lake without any party harming the other. Number 1. Bird terrorizes boy. This encounter might not be as scary as the others, but it's undoubtedly the most hilarious. Here is an instance of a bird frightening a young boy beyond his wildest dreams. After picking up on the boy's fears, the bird decided to stick around and torture him a little longer. It's a wonder how the child manages to hold on to his scooter without crashing into something. And that's all in today's video. Thanks for watching it till the end. Which of these scary animal encounters gave you the most chills? Are there other scary animal encounters caught on camera that we omitted? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thanks once again, and we'll see you in the next video.